Hello, I'm Annette Young and welcome to the 51%, a show about women reshaping our world. Coming up. As former British Prince Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor is arrested over ties to the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, the scandal now spreads to France, where Paris prosecutors have opened an inquiry into a former government minister and his daughter. Also, as we mark 4 years since Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine, the number of Ukrainian women entering the military reaches record levels. I'll be speaking shortly to one of them, Yaryna Chornohuz, a poet who's now also a drone pilot. And in India, football is being used to teach girls to stand up for their rights and getting them to resist pressure to marry early. But first, the Epstein scandal is turning into a metaphorical global tsunami, with a growing number of political and business leaders facing accusations over ties to the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. In Britain, former Prince Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor has been arrested over suspicions of misconduct in public office. It comes after UK police said they're investigating a complaint over the alleged sharing of confidential material by the former Prince with Epstein. And here in Paris, prosecutors have formed dedicated teams to review the Epstein files, one looking at financial links, the other focusing on human trafficking. Olivia Salazar-Winspear has more.
After the US, the UK, now the French justice system is wading into the Epstein files, examining more than 3 million documents, looking to identify any crimes committed by French nationals or on French soil. The Paris prosecutor has announced the opening of 2 investigations.
We cannot ignore the possibility that certain facts will be revealed that could be classified as criminal offences. So, we must be prepared to examine all of this data. I have decided, with the support of many magistrates in this office, to open what we could call preliminary investigations.
These preliminary investigations will focus on 2 areas: accusations of sexual crimes, including human trafficking, and financial wrongdoing. Ebba Karlsson, a retired Swedish model, has now filed an official complaint for rape and human trafficking against this man, Daniel Siad, a friend of Epstein's who was often spotted with him in restaurants and nightclubs in Paris. Emails between the 2 of them reveal Siad writing,
"I found you 2 girls from Sweden, a Slovakian, 2 French, and the Russian with whom you spoke."
Another man, Jean-Luc Brunel, was also accused of recruiting underage women for Epstein under the pretext of model scouting. He committed suicide in 2022 in pre-trial detention. This lawyer has been gathering witness accounts regarding Siad, Brunel, and Epstein's behaviour.
My clients have been telling me about dinners that took place in major Parisian nightclubs or upscale restaurants. We've noticed that these encounters often start off in restaurants and finish at home, where the alleged abuses take place.
These revelations have already had far-reaching effects on various sectors of French society. In this video, filmed in Paris, Epstein's pictured with Jack Lang. The former culture minister stepped down as director of the Arab World Institute after his links to Epstein were revealed in the files. His position has since been filled by diplomat Anne-Claire Legendre, the first time a woman has taken on this role.
Now, this week we're marking 4 years since Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine, as diplomatic efforts continue in pursuit of a negotiated settlement to the war. On the ground remains a grinding stalemate, with neither side achieving a decisive breakthrough. Yet amid the prolonged conflict, one significant trend stands out: the rise of women serving in the Ukrainian military. At least 70,000 of them, in fact, with nearly 20,000 in combat positions. One is a ballroom dancer, Tatiana Kimion, who's now a sniper. The 47-year-old mother of 2 was working as a dance instructor in the Donetsk region when Russia invaded.
Life goes on. This is our life and this is our choice. But a choice made within the realities we found ourselves in. Now it feels almost impossible to return to the life we had before.
Another is Yaryna Chornohuz, a noted Ukrainian poet who also served as a combat medic and is now a drone pilot. She joins me now from Limerick and Ireland, where she is promoting her latest book of poetry. Yaryna, thank you so much for your time. Why did you decide to join up and head to the front line?
I joined up in 2020 to Ukrainian Marines because I want to pay my debts for defending me since 2014. And I felt that Russia would use the situation and spread more occupation. And it turned out that I was right. And I wanted to be prepared in 2020 to defend my country. Yeah, and now it is fourth year of the full-scale invasion, and I'm still on the front line.
And the number of Ukrainian women serving, especially on the front line, is extraordinary. How has their presence impacted the way that the military operates?
The presence of Ukrainian females in the military, I would say, impact army quite strongly. It makes it more modern. Actually, I was the ambassador of the idea that we should have totally female units, because if there are totally male units, so we should have also totally female units.
Do you think there is any difference in terms of between the genders when it comes to dealing with the stresses of being constantly under threat of being killed?
Now in Ukraine, to be in military is a duty for men, like it's legislation. And for females, this is a choice. So we are all volunteers. We all went to army deliberately. And that's why females who are in Ukraine military has a very high motivation to fight and very high motivation to get over all difficulties.
You're currently in Ireland where you're promoting your poetry. How do you combine writing poetry with the life of being on the front line?
Actually, usually I'm writing in a time when I have a little rest, like when we can wash our clothes or, just a little moments of peace. I'm trying to write. And poetry is a very important thing for me on the front line. This is my therapy. This is my way to express myself. And this is my connection between very cruel war and the life I had before I became soldier, because I actually was a student in literature, master in literature, and I was a poet who loved reading poems in cafes and pubs. And for me, writing helps to save that version of me.
Here we are, Yaryna, 4 years on from when Russia launched the full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Did you imagine back in 2022 that your country would still be at war? And how do you keep up your hopes for a peaceful future?
In 2022, when this full-scale invasion began, I didn't know actually how long it's going to take, but I know one thing. I know that Russia, they won't destroy us totally. They want to destroy us existentially, destroy our identity, destroy our language, destroy like everything. We cannot just accept them and to be Ukrainians. It means to stop being Ukrainians, to accept what they want from us. No one in this world wants more peace than Ukrainians. We want back to civilian life and to peaceful life very much, but they don't stop.
Yaryna, I'm afraid we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Now to India, where child marriage is illegal, but sadly still very much widespread, where millions of girls are married off before they turn 18. Yet in the northwestern state of Rajasthan, football is now being used to teach girls to stand up for their rights and getting them to resist the pressure to marry early. Luke Shrego has the story.
At age 14, Muna was facing a life of domestic chores and dependence on her future husband. Her mother, a child bride herself, had arranged a marriage, like for her older sister before her.
I started crying. I said, I don't want to marry right now. I'm in grade 9. I want to study.
Muna, though, began playing football thanks to a women's rights organisation, the Football for Freedom, Unity and Solidarity Project. The group has trained some 800 girls across Rajasthan in northern India over the last decade.
When we worked with the girls and they learnt about their rights, about the country's constitution, the ill effects of child marriage, and because girls were stepping out, they were able to speak out.
With residential camps and tournaments, girls have somewhere to play and exercise for a few hours each day, while learning life skills like first aid, financial independence and even reproductive health. Muna herself qualified as a coach, and her own sister Nisha, aged 15, is now taking part too.
One day I was going to play after finishing household work, and Papa said, "Is your boyfriend waiting there?" I replied, "There is no boyfriend. I'm going to play football. That's my love."
These girls are celebrating their sporting achievements, but that's beyond all too many in India due to poverty or marrying early. And the Football for Freedom project continues to help those it can reach, empowering young women and girls, one football match at a time.
And that's it for this edition, so until our next show, bye for now.